promise to save versus poison in magic stops at 30, but the percentage to save versus coma continues at an increment of 1 point per each additional point beyond 30%. Most ordinary humans never exceed 30. However, mutant animals, superhumans, cyborgs, aliens, and others may achieve mind-boggling running speeds. Note that with a few zoo animal exceptions, all the mutants listed are native to North America. Whatever you are comes directly from your parents. You are one of a new species, and you can expect to find others like you. Unless the mutant animal has a herd or pack instinct, tribes of purebreds are rare. For example, the only purebreds among mutant cats are the pixie bobs, who have a very non-cat dog-like disposition, and Egyptian throwbacks who come about more by accident than design. On the other hand, some of the more social mutant animals have created exclusive communities and often carefully control their gene pool by restricting who is allowed to join. Pigs, or mutant swines, have the largest number of purebred communities, mostly because they have a natural tendency to create tribes and villages and prefer hanging around with those who are more or less like family. Most non-pig visitors to, say, a Chestertown would be welcome since they have not threatened the social order. Mutant swines with the appearance of a Chester would likely be invited to settle, or at least contribute to the local gene bank, if the town's technology was high enough. However, mutant swine clearly not of Chester genes, such as wild mutants, razorbacks, and mule feed, would be treated coldly with a clear signal to leave as soon as possible, since their genes pose a clear threat to the purity of the local population. Communities and tribes of purebred cattle, goats, and sheep are also likely to be protective of their gene pool. Purebred dogs, horses, and chickens are not usually so restrictive and often welcome the occasional outsider to join their community, confident that if the stranger is capable of producing offspring, then the hybrid vigor may be a good thing. Chimeras have even more mixing. For example, spider goats were originally created back in the 1990s by the splicing spider genes into goat embryos. Before the crash, there were thousands of experiments that involved mixing genes from different sources, but only a few such chimeras were successful enough to find others of their own kind to interbreed and to have offspring, either deliberately through genetic engineering or by some strange quirk of mutation. Throwbacks resembling extinct animals and humanoids have appeared in the world of After the Bomb. While most of the throwbacks are unique, such as dinosaurs, if you have managed to find sufficient numbers of their own kind to produce offspring, multiplying and even establishing clans, tribes, and communities. Each character's skills, equipment, money, and special bonuses depend on their background, either born to wild animals, abandoned, orphaned, or just lost in the wilderness, with constant attacks from the Empire of Humanity and acts of violence by barbarians and rogues. It is not surprising that many mutant animal young find themselves lost and alone in the wilderness. Feral mutants tend to be tougher than others, but not well educated. Feral characters are often antisocial or just not given too much talking. Even those reunited with their families or who just join clans and communities have a lot of problems fitting in. Tend to be loners, suspicious of others, especially humans, and are the strong silent type. May be fiercely loyal to those considered to be friends. Character is completely comfortable in a wilderness environment and has a 10% chance of running into a familiar feral buddy for every day of wandering and exploring. Tends to distrust and avoid civilization. Some families are so remote that a mutant child will be raised without seeing more than one stranger a year. The character usually comes out of the wilderness with ragged clothes, one aged weapon, and a gunny sack of cooking tools and useful scavenged items. The character is friendly, but rustic and curious, and not necessarily hostile towards humans. Raised in one of the small mutant animal communities, this means the character received an excellent education with a heavy technical emphasis. The character will oppose the Empire of Humanity, but will not discriminate against humans. These characters tend to think of their country cousins as a bit backwards and feral mutants as savage or barbarians. In the character's hometown, there are plenty of relatives and friends who will do just about anything for the character. 3% chance of running into someone from the character's hometown while visiting other mutant animal communities. The character was raised in one of the community bordering the Empire of Humanity, frequent raids and skirmishes with the Empire and their new kennel allies, mandatory military training for all youths. Chances are the character has had little personal contact with humans and will treat all of them as potential enemies. The character will have a 5% chance of recognizing an old buddy in any mutant animal military unit. Mutant animals military units are often totally self-sufficient, raising families in fortified compounds between battles. Their offspring are highly trained military but tend to miss out on some of the civilian skills. The elite militia tends to treat humans with a professional cool. The character is very familiar with the contested borderlands around the Empire of Humanity and knows quite a few of the guerrilla groups still in operation. Have had to learn guerrilla techniques in order to survive the constant raiding from the Empire of Humanity, as well as mutant bandits and renegades. From an early age, the children have to learn how to avoid mines, booby traps, and other hazards. These characters have learned to hide their true feelings, usually hatred, from humans. The character was born into a group of bandits and raised to be useful starting at the age of 3 or 4. Grew up running messages, telling lies, setting up innocent travelers, committing crimes, witnessing murder, and worse. Fortunately, the character was rescued by the age of 15 or 16 and adopted by a caring family. Still, the character has a good range of rogue skills. The character has a 25% chance of recognizing any bandits who are in disguise, hiding, or retired from their days on the run. Born, sold, or kidnapped into slavery into the empire of humanity, these young animals eventually manage to escape. For the rest of their lives, they have a burning desire to the empire. Them with many kinds of scars and a bitter hatred of mankind, tempered only by the knowledge that some humans were involved in helping them escape from slavery. The character will be familiar with at least 3 of the mutant animal camps, mines, or factories in the empire of humanity, and will know dozens of friends in each of those places. Particularly bright youngsters are adopted into a special secret university. This is not a college campus, but the remnants of one of the pre-crash universities held together by a desire to preserve the greatness of the past by continuing to study, teach, and research. Humans, including ancient humans who still survive and contribute, are very much a part of this academic underground, and characters will be as comfortable around humans as around mutant animals. Part of a secret network of scientists and academics who continue the work of studying, experimenting, publishing, and generally pushing back the dark forces of ignorance. Getting the character dressed and equipped requires money. Characters with savings or with organization equipment can simply buy common items. Money in North America, the only paper money now issued are Canadian bucks, or Cardanian bucks. There is only one kind of small change, which is a bit, and 1 buck equals 4 bits.